All right, so the last section of the last part of this section, I should say, is volume. So this is the third part. Now this video, I did the same thing in this one I did with the previous one. I broke it up into two parts. You can do the whole thing if you want to. You can just do the first half, finish the rest up the next day, no big deal. We're going to do volumes of cylinders and volumes of rectangular prisms. So the idea of a volume here, and the vocab for the test, is how much a solid will hold, represented by the uppercase letter V. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street or something. Brought to you by the letter V. So measured in cubic units. So cubic centimeters, cubic inches, cubic meters. So to the third power, because it's volume. Because we're multiplying length times width times height. Three things multiplied, it's going to be cubic. So we've already seen this rectangular prism. Volume this time is, it's again a weird formula here. Big B times the height. So here's the idea. Find the area of the square on the bottom. 4 times 6. Multiply by the height of 10. Boom. You got it. Some folks say volume is length times width times height. Again, I like to say find the area of the rectangle on the bottom, or the square on the bottom, right? In this case, that's 4, so volume is 4 times 6. Multiply that by the overall height of the prism, so times 10, and you multiply that out, so 240, in this case it's centimeters cubed. That's what we're looking at. One more quick example for you here. So again, we find the area of one of the bases, so this base here, so that's 45 by 36. Multiply that by the height of 54. Let you pause if you want to, grab your calculator and give it a go and see what you think. But you most certainly should get this. And don't forget to label it again, inches cubed in this case. Now here's if you want to pause, stop for today, this is the first day, and you'll do the volume of cylinders tomorrow. Otherwise, keep going, finish out the vocab. Now again, we already know what a cylinder is, right? Basically, it's a circle, right, multiplied by the height here. So volume, in this case, has a nice formula. Pi times the radius squared times the height. Notice not the diameter, but the radius. So you're going to pi times the radius squared times the height. And we also talk again about that in terms of pi things. So in this case, again, volume here is pi, so the number pi, times the radius. I don't have a radius here. This is 1.6, so all the way across, that's the diameter. So radius is 0.8, so times 0.8, and that does have to be squared, times the height of 4.8. Now, again, we talked about leaving in terms of pi, so if you take that 0.8 times 0.8, you get 0.64, so volume is pi 0.64 times 4.8. Oops, yeah, there we go. So multiply that 0.64 times 4.8, and so we get 3, so volume is 3.072. Oops, that didn't come out very nice, just a second. 3.072 pi feet cubed. So if I said leave in terms of pi, that's where you'd go. But again, if I didn't, you'd go ahead and multiply that pi as 3.14, so times 3.14, and finish it out as about 9.6, and that's still feet cubed. But again, it's always a good idea to include that in terms of pi along the way, just in case I asked for terms of pi and you forgot. You'd have both answers, and I would certainly kind of correct them. So again here, volume is pi r squared h. So volume is pi, and we did give the radius this time of 28 squared times the height of 60. Again, if you didn't see that, remember, you can turn it sideways. That makes you happy. All right, there we go. There's radius and height. So you go ahead and square that 28 and get 784. So volume is pi times 784 times 60. So times that 60. So volume is 47040 pi inches cubed. So again, and there's the in terms of pi answer if I said give me that. And if you want to finish it out, you go ahead and multiply 3.14 for pi and get this answer I have down here, which is 147,705.6 inches cubed. Again, that's if I say go ahead and use 3.14 for pi. You never know which I'm going to use for you.